All right, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Fly Like an Eagle podcast. It is week 3. We are going to Dallas. Actually, I'm going to Dallas. I'm jumping on a flight at 2 o'clock in the afternoon to go to Dallas to watch this game where Zomp, who is not with us today, says that we're going to get absolutely destroyed and that I should not go. Well, screw him because I'm going. Because last time I went, we got destroyed. That's not happening twice. It doesn't happen with me. It'll never happen ever. We're going to win this game. That's pretty much my easy prediction. We're going to win this game. And there's nothing you can do about it. Cowboys fans, there's nothing you can do about it. Pessimistic Eagles fans. We're going to win this game. And, because it's Dallas week. And we don't give a fuck. We're going to test Dak Prescott's foot pretty early and effectively. And our pressure I'm not afraid of. And we'll see how their offensive line holds up. With that said, I'm going to bring in one and only Zach Harris. Zach, it is early. I know it's a really early show. We usually do these on Thursdays. But times change. And sometimes you got to work with what you got. How you doing, buddy?
Exactly. I'm doing all right. So first of all, last week was a tough week. I went to the game, and a lot of Eagles fans left early in that game with 5 minutes to go, two-score game. I was pissed,
Yep.
and I wasn't pissed that we were losing the Niners. I was pissed that Eagles fans were losing in a two-score game with 5 minutes to go and started leaving. Like, what is that bullshit? So I was a little pissed about that. But the good news is, after a heartbreaking loss like that, where you had so many opportunities to not only just beat the Niners, but single-handedly destroy them because you moved the ball pretty well in the first half. The second half is really where the Niners took over, where the run game started working for the Niners, where they really controlled the clock. I think at one point the Eagles had like 20 minutes of time per possession compared to like 10 for the Niners. Next thing you know, I'm looking up at the scoreboard and it's like 30 for the Niners, 22 for the Eagles. So that just shows you how much of a dominance that the Niners took over in the second half. But it was still a game within reach. But the best thing about having a game like that and then having a Cowboys game right after it is you don't have time to sulk. It's right into Cowboys hate week.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we got to wait one more single day. No Sunday game. We got a Monday game. But still, it's Cowboys hate week. The focus immediately goes right back on after a disappointing loss to the 49ers.
Yeah, no, exactly. You pin it right on the head. And, going into that San Fran game, a lot of Eagles fans predicted us to win that game for the reasons of we haven't been back in the link for 2 years. The crowd was going to be pumped up. It was loud. I heard it on the TV. It was really loud. And I'm glad you got to go experience that because that's awesome. But there was something in the back of my head that told me we weren't going to win that game. You know my opinion on Jalen Hurts. Now, the reason why I'm picking us to win this game on Monday is because I don't think Dallas's defense is that good. And the way that Jalen Hurts plays, he does put up a lot of points. Like he does. Like he's not good at situational football. Like he can't bring you back if you're all the way down. Like he can't do that, especially at this level, because he runs to the right too much. He runs to the sticks. He misses his first read and then he just like quits. I don't know what it is, but this is a game where I just don't think Dallas's defense is that good. Now, San Fran's defense, you saw that Devonta Smith was actually open a lot of the game. If you go back and watch the film, he was torching the San Fran secondary, but Jalen Hurts didn't see him, and that's a big problem. But you know what, Dallas, San Fran's going to be one of the better teams this year. They really are. I know they're kind of weak. Well, they have a decent amount of injuries in the secondary. I understand that, but they're disgusting up front. Like they really are. And I just feel like, this is going to be one of those games where we have to rely on our cornerbacks. Steve Nelson, obviously, I feel like he's been playing really good. And Darius Slay, he's got to play better. There's been some times where Darius Slay has got completely roasted. And this guy, we're paying a lot of money. So he needs to show up. I don't know who's going to be covering Cooper or CeeDee Lamb, but he's got to shut those guys down. Like he really does. This is nut up or shut up time because this is a game. It's a very winnable game, and I'm sick and tired of Eagles fans, and this is the hypocrisy from Eagles fans. Eagles fans talk so much shit about the Cowboys every single year, how they haven't won since '95, yada yada yada. Like their fan base is a joke. They're not America's team, and now all of a sudden, all these Eagles fans are quitting before the game even started. They're like, we have no shot in this game. We're gonna get killed. Do you guys watch football? I've been saying all offseason, this team is not going to be that good. But this game in particular, yes, they can win. Number one, It's early on in the season, all right? You don't know everything that the Eagles have on film. You don't know the coaching. You could use trickery. You could do whatever you want. You can win this game because it's so early in the season. Dak Prescott, I don't care what anybody says, he's not fully healthy. All right. Well, if you test that leg, now I'm not condoning this, but if you can test that ankle and see what it's worth, hey, maybe you could get something out of it. That's a really bad thing to say, but you never know. Yeah, this is a very winnable game. Like, it really is. Last week I thought it was a lock to lose. Like, I know I'm one of those fans. I said week 1 we were going to lose to Atlanta. I was wrong on that. Week 2 I said there is no way that we are going to beat the 49ers because they're returning pretty much everybody besides the safety that got injured, the cornerback that got injured. But up front, they're just nasty. Their coaching's better. Kyle Shanahan's been to a Super Bowl. We have a new coach in Nick Sirianni. We have Gannon on the defensive side of the ball. Jimmy Garoppolo, honestly, they could have torched us. He missed a lot of wide open wide receivers. That team's going to be really good. This Dallas team, I don't know why everyone's scared. I think it's very winnable, Zach.
Yeah, I think it's very winnable as well. I thought, going into the season that every single game we were going to remain competitive in, and at least through the first 2 games, I've been correct thus far. This is one of the games that I could see as a potential blowout loss, but the way the Eagles have been playing, the way that they've been family oriented in the locker room, on the field, even with the loss of BG, which my thoughts and prayers are with BG right now because that's a big loss for us. We're still going to play as a family. We're going to be competitive. And that's the thing about Jalen. He may not be the right fit for most NFL teams, but as long as you build around him the correct way and, the players are buying in and the coaches are buying in, he's going to at least do what it takes to try to be competitive in games. And that's what he can do is he can extend plays. Does he always make the right play? No, but he can extend plays. He can keep the chains moving. And I thought a lot of what happened last week was, him not using his legs enough. And I know that sounds funny, but the 49ers really struggle against quarterbacks that are very mobile. So, making extended plays, whether it's running for 5 yards or, extending a play where a wide receiver is cutting over the middle and you find them because you extended it to the right or to the left or whatever the case may be. I would like to see the same thing against the Dallas Cowboys because they also struggle against mobile quarterbacks. And that doesn't mean he needs to run the ball 20 times himself, but really rely on the run game, really rely on him being able to stretch the field with his legs as well as extending plays and hoping that he can get on the same page with the receivers because we see that a lot of that with Russ. And I'm not comparing Jalen to Russ, but if we could get a couple of those plays here and there, like a Quez Watkins 91-yard score, which really pissed me off that it didn't go for a score, but that's a story for another day. But something along those lines where he can extend the play and really keep the chains moving. And there's reason for optimism that we can pull this upset up.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. When you look at Jalen Hurts, you and I both know that he has pretty much a noodle arm. Like, you see the flashes where he throws down the field, he hits Quez Watkins in stride, but that was only a 45-yard pass. Quez Watkins did most of the rest. This is a guy to where he can't flick his wrist and throw it 60 yards. He has to put his whole body into it to reach 45 to 50 yards down the field. And you saw that with the Devonta Smith play in the end zone. If he threw it a little bit further, that's a touchdown. He underthrows these guys. He underthrows them every single week. I'm not saying that, he's a god-awful player. Like, I mean, maybe I went a little above and beyond in the offseason because I like to troll people. But the thing with Jalen Hurts is this guy, the way he played in college, how can you expect him to play any better at the NFL level? This is why those Deshaun Watson rumors weren't true. People want to say, oh, it was just a mirage. It was Fugazi. No, it wasn't Fugazi. The Eagles not only tried to get Deshaun Watson, they tried to move up in the draft to potentially get Zach Wilson or somebody else. Like, they were not sold on Jalen Hurts. Now, this year, we do play in a weak division. That is true. So maybe they're just rolling with Jalen Hurts now to see what they could do. But they know deep down that this guy isn't the guy to lead the franchise for the next 10 years because you're seeing it play out in front of you. The guy, he doesn't have the it factor. No one's going to be a Patrick Mahomes. No one's going to be a Russell Wilson. You want to compare him to Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson has a cannon. He could throw it down the field. And he thrives off broken plays. When broken plays happen, Jalen Hurts runs out of bounds. So it's like they're two different guys, two different IQs, and you just got to take it how you see it. For all those fans that were on Jalen Hurts' nutsack on the offseason, ready for him to be the franchise quarterback, you can't just leave him now. You've been here the whole time. I told you guys, and I was trying to tell you guys throughout the whole offseason that the guy is vanilla. Like, he's very vanilla when he plays the quarterback position. Like, he's not a guy that's gonna lead you to the promised land by himself. Even with teammates around him, even with players around him, I wouldn't even say that he's all that. He's a good fantasy quarterback because he runs a lot and he has those breakdown plays that sometimes he hits, but at the same time, he's just not. To me, he just doesn't do it. There's just something missing from his game. I wish he was better. He's a good leader. He's a nice guy from what I see, but he lacks skill, and that's just all it comes down to. But I do think we win this game this week.
All right, so I'm going to touch on Jalen Hurts real quick. So
Mr.
you're
Bam.
right. He doesn't throw the ball down the field. He doesn't throw the ball down the field with consistency, but you can win in the NFL with the kind of arm that Jalen has. Now, the problem is he needs to be able to anticipate throws a lot better, and that's one of the things that he is lacking is the anticipation. So that Devonta Smith play down the middle where he underthrew it and Devonta had to come through the ball, you got to trust your wide receivers. You got to get that ball out of your hands a little earlier. And that's what he needs to work on. He needs to work on the anticipatory throws because it's not Alabama. It's not Oklahoma. Nobody's going to be open 5, 10, 15 yards separation, that he has seen in Alabama in his time with Oklahoma. So he does need to work on the anticipatory throws. I do think, he has everything that you would look for in a NFL franchise quarterback, except for that consistency as a passer. And that's what you really need at the end of the day. So hopefully, that's something that he can work on. We've seen it in the past with guys like Josh Allen be able to bump up. Even Lamar Jackson has become a little more of an accurate passer. Now, still, it's situational. I don't think he's that great of a passer, but he still has gotten better, more accurate as a passer. So hopefully that's something Jalen can continue to work on. But ultimately, I think that's why the Eagles are giving Jalen a chance, not only because they were unable to go ahead and get a guy like Deshaun Watson, but because this guy really is everything you would want in a franchise quarterback. He just hasn't proved that he is a franchise quarterback.
Yeah, because he lacks the attributes, and that's why we went out and got Gardner Minshew. I mean, Gardner Minshew, everyone's saying that, oh, he's going to be the third stringer. No, Gardner Minshew has ties with Nick Sirianni. Nick Sirianni wanted Gardner Minshew. So if the Jalen Hurts experiment doesn't work out, he already has those ties from the past that he could bring, and he knows that Gardner Minshew actually thrived in Jacksonville for 1 year. So maybe, just maybe, he could find that spark and lead this team down the road. So if Jalen Hurts continues to play this way, Zach, I'm going to be completely honest with you. Yes, we have to win this game for Jalen Hurts to fit into this equation that I'm about to say. But if Jalen Hurts plays the same exact type of ball for the next 5 to 6 weeks with this win, I could see him getting benched for somebody else. I truly could, because in the NFL, it stands for not for long, like John Dornball said. It stands for not for long. You only have so much time, especially in a weak division, to prove your worth. If there's a better option behind you that succeeded at this level on a really bad team in the Jacksonville Jaguars, and we play in that weak division that, you could win with ease. Plus, we have those draft picks next year that Miami looks horrible. Indianapolis started off 0-2. You'll have those assets anyway, so your pick doesn't really mean that much. If you want to win the division and still have those picks, you will. If you want to try to win this division, get to the playoffs, you're going to have the best player go in, And to me, if he plays this type of ball week in and week out the same exact way, you have to pull him because he's showing no signs of progressing. You know what I'm saying? It's like, this is year 2, I understand that, but he already had 4 games in the NFL. That's a quarter of the season. People want to say that that's not enough of a sample size. That's literally a quarter of the season, no matter what kind of team you played with. The guy started off great against the Saints. Then he slowly regressed down the road. He threw a bomb to Deshaun Jackson, and then he was absolutely terrible for the rest of that Dallas game. Now what we're seeing is he played a decent game against Atlanta. I don't think it was as good as everyone was saying it was. He had a good throw in the end zone. Then against San Fran, it was more of the same. The RPOs, him running to the sideline, throwing checkdowns. When he does throw it down the field, he underthrows it like a motherfucker. Like this guy is what he is to me personally. And if he plays the same type of ball for 5 to 6 weeks, how can you not pull him? It's just his game is not NFL material. It's not. And, I'm not saying he's not a good guy, but you need to put the best player out there in the position to win. It's just my opinion, bro.
I agree. You need to put the best person out there to win the game. So no matter if it's a quarterback, a wide receiver, a corner, whoever puts you in the best situation to succeed, that's who you have to go with. As of right now, it does look like it's Jalen. I don't see Gardner Minshew touching this field at all, unless for some forsaken reason there's an injury. But we'll differ on that. We'll beg to differ on that one. We'll agree to disagree. So that's what makes us great.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, exactly. We all have different opinions, and at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. That's why America's the best country in the world. You could have different opinions and not get hated for it. I wish actually. But
No,
we
I got you.
do have some comments. People are saying Hurts is terrible. Patriots fans saying, but it's Hurts season. Hurts is a timing issue. So it looks like, a lot of the comment section is pretty down on Hurts right now after 2 games. Cowgirls fans, Dak is back. Dak is fucking 2-4 in his last 6 starts. Give me a break. This is what I will say about Dak Prescott, and it's going to make me vomit in my mouth a little bit. You saw how much he means to that Cowboys team last year when he went down. They were putting up points for days before he went down. And then all of a sudden, Andy Dalton comes in, and they're one of the worst offensive teams in the league, one of the worst defensive teams in the league. It didn't matter. Dak, what he did last year is he kept them in games with his talents, because without him, they were horrible. They were a horrible football team without him. So the credit I will give to Dak is the fact that he got his bag. Like, he got his contract. And this is a guy that, in my opinion, deserves it. Like you saw it last year. It almost took him getting hurt to prove a point. It's like, I got hurt. Now look at us. So it basically, he got his bag that way by getting hurt. It's basically God coming down, making him hurt his ankle a little bit, and he got his contract. So that's how it happened. Because honestly, without him getting hurt, I don't think he got paid. It's just my honest opinion. Well, but he's still in the Wentz wagon. Yeah, I'm not. Well, I said Wentz wagon. It's pretty funny. Devonta Smith better have a game this week. I have him on my bench. It all depends on how Jalen Hurts plays. It's at the end of the day, Devonta Smith, you see his route running. He's a beast. He's a natural specimen of a player. And, this is a guy that we took 10th overall in the draft that we traded up for. So, yeah, I think he could have a good game. It all depends on the quarterback. Would you trade a first rounder for Brady? No, I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't is because, number one, we don't have the team that Tampa Bay has. Tampa Bay has an all-star team. You look at that team up and down the roster, they're ready to go. If he were on the Patriots right now, I don't think he would succeed like he is right now with Tampa Bay, if I'm being honest. Tampa Bay is really well-rounded at every single position. Right now, we're not. So Brady wouldn't do anything here, in my opinion. Yeah, when Dak got his twig snapped, that's horrible. Cowgirls were 1-3. He's great. It had nothing to do with him. Go back and look at those games, bro. Look at the points he put up. He came all the way back. What were they down?
Like 500 yards on defense.
Yeah, they gave up a ton of yards on defense. Their defense was absolutely horrible. And Dak actually kept them in the game. So, I don't know. Brunson says is great. Wentz is great. Who's Brunson? John Money trying to start. I don't know what. LB thinks everyone's great. Who's LB? I have no idea who that is. But anyway, Zach, I want to ask you a question.
I don't know.
I have no idea who that is. I want to ask you a question. So we go down to Dallas, Monday Football, national TV. Do we get embarrassed or do we pull off an upset?
I think it really depends on one thing. Can we win in the trenches? Can we keep Micah Parsons off of Jalen Hurts' back? Can we get that run game going? And also on the defensive side of the ball, can we continue to create pressure from the defensive line standpoint? And can we stay away from stupid ass penalties. Yes, I'm looking at you, Derek Barnett. That should have been 3rd and long, not a fucking first down. And you're one of the reasons that it went a long way into the way that the game went last week.
Yep. Oh, absolutely, 100%. And Haley Marie, a Giants fan, says, I'm hyped to watch Eli and Peyton commentate the game. I didn't watch a single second of that. Everyone's saying it's great. I don't really care about Eli Manning. I mean, I think he's one of the worst Hall of Famers to ever play the game. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame, but I think he's one of the worst. All about winning, not just the stats. Yeah, well, you guys caped for Carson Wentz, and the guy was a pure loser. So, I mean, it's kind of hypocritical. But yeah, I'm gonna give my score prediction right now. You know how much I love predictions, Zach. I love them. I'm gonna give my score prediction right now. I think we're gonna go into Dallas. It's gonna be an overtime game. I think we win this game 27-24. I think we're gonna win that game. I think Dallas gives us a scare, starts driving the length of the field. They fumble. We get the ball back, go down the field, and score a field goal to end the game. That's what I think is going to happen.
Okay.
Just to give us a good game since I'm there.
All right. So I think it's going to be a little more high scoring. I'm going to go 35-31 Dallas winning.
35-30.
Cover the spread.
So you have a high score.
On my side, it's 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah, 35-31.
So you don't think we have a shot in Dallas?
I think we have a shot. It's going to be 35-31. Who can make the most plays at the end of the game? Dak's a little more of a veteran-type quarterback. He has a little better of a team around him. That's just what it's going to come down to. Who has the better coach, who has the better quarterback play, and who makes the right decisions when it matters the most.
Giants fan here. You guys stink. I think he's talking about us Eagles fans, not us personally, but whatever. Hey, if we stink, it is what it is. Giants fans, yeah, you got to understand something. You're playing the Atlanta Falcons and you're only a 3-point favorite at home. I mean, what does that tell you? The Giants are an abysmal football team. They couldn't even win last week against a team with like their 3rd-string quarterback in. So just take a seat on this one, and you're not going anywhere. If you lose against Atlanta, you're going to go 0-17. Yeah,
if they lose against Atlanta, their next couple of games are at the Saints, at the Cowboys, home versus the Rams, home versus the Panthers, at the Chiefs, and then home versus the Raiders, then at the Buccaneers before they go ahead and face us. So I wouldn't count my blessings. You better pull this one out.
Yeah, sounds fun. Your team stinks. We crushed you last year. I mean, you're not crushing anything. You haven't swept us since 2008. But keep going. 38-3 Cowboys. Yeah, this guy's a troll. Hurts is a 6-foot quarterback who needs to learn to work inside the pocket as a smaller guy. Trust what he says. Don't be scared. That's how you learn. I believe in this coach. Let's see. See, that's another thing. For people who say they believe in this coach, why? Like Zach, why would you believe in this coach? Because he panders to the fan base every single day. He's wearing the Iverson shirts. He's wearing Jalen Hurts shirts, Brian Dawkins shirts. This guy just got here, and he's acting like he's lived here. It's like, I don't mind when a coach plays into the fans. Like Bryce Harper does it all the time, but Bryce Harper is probably the MVP of the league this year. Nick Sirianni is a guy that worked under Frank Reich and just got here as an NFL coach in one of the toughest cities to coach in all of football. So it's like, if you're going to pander this much, you better damn be good, because that pandering will get old very fast. And you know it. You know that the fans will just chew right into him. Doug Peterson won the Super Bowl, and he ain't even here anymore. It took him 3 years to get fired. So it's like the pandering, this guy better know what he's doing, or else it's going to be a rough ride for him, like it really is. And from what I've seen so far, I mean, I haven't really liked him. So let me call in, let me crush you. Unfortunately for you, we don't have a call-in show today, or else I would let you do it, because you sound like one of those heated Giants fans that I'm telling the truth and you just can't take it. The Giants are one of those teams that, you want them to be good, so bad. Finished 6-10 last year, and you're so mad you didn't make the playoffs because we tanked. That was actually one of the best moments of the season. I'm not going to lie. I'm not a fan of the coach. Yeah, I don't like the coach either, but, he's our coach. Bro, what day are you leaving for Dallas? I'm leaving at 2:00 in the afternoon today. I'll be down there 6 your time. That's when I'll be there. I was at the Pats Eagles game when he almost knocked us off. Was that AJ Feely game? I think that was. Yeah, AJ Feely game when they had Randy Moss. Was that? I think so. Yeah, when they went 0-16. Yeah, it was. Be them wrong. All right, sweet, bro. Yeah, let's link up. What is the call-in? Call-ins will be probably on a Thursday when Zach's not at work. Yeah. Us Giants fans don't claim. Thank you, Haley. A smart Giants fan, right there. Giants fans shouldn't say anything. The fact of the matter is, we won the Super Bowl 4 years ago now, and I'm even saying that's a long time. So I'm not even going to talk about. I mean, I will talk about the Super Bowl, but we got to get our act together. We got to start playing some winning ball, and we got to make it happen, Zach, because this losing is getting old. Getting old quick.
Absolutely, but at least this year it's going to be a little more competitive than it was last year. So even though if we don't win many games, it will at least be a lot more exciting than it was last year. Because last year it was just a drag. It was bland. It was you wait all week for Sunday, and then Sunday comes, and you're just so disappointed. And I think this year is going to be a lot more competitive. You may have your ups and downs, but you'll at least enjoy watching the game because you'll feel like you're in it, even if you're not in it.
All right. Before we go, let's do players of the game and who needs to step up in order for us to take out a win in Dallas. I'll go first. I think the players of the game on defense or player on defense will be Josh Sweat. I feel like he'll have a lot to do with disrupting Dak Prescott, make him run around a lot. You got to pressure him as much as you can. He just got that big contract. Right now, personally, from what I've seen, I feel like Javon Hargraves is our best player on defense right now. So him with Josh Sweat, they really need to ball out. And those are the two players that I'm going to really key in on when it comes to this game. On offense, Mailata looked great last week. And I want to see who's taking the role of Brooks. No. Wait, I'm getting this mixed up. Landon Dickerson's going to be in this. Landon Dickerson's going to be in this weekend. Who's taking the role of
Dillard's going to be in.
Yeah, I heard it's going to be Dillard.
Dillard.
All right, so Dillard's got to be the player of the game. That's an easy one for me. Dillard's got to be the player of the game. If Dillard steps up, hey, maybe we have some potential there, but we need him to fucking play. We need him to ball out because without him, yeah, it's going to be a clusterfuck. Jalen Hurts will be running for the sticks all game, and then that'll get old, and then Jalen Hurts will get a ton of bashing, probably for no reason this game because Dillard is such an atrocious player. But, we'll see. So who are your players of the game?
All right, so I was too going to go with Josh Sweat, but since you said Josh Sweat, I'm going to go with the middle of the line, whether it's Hargrave or Fletcher Cox. I need some more from the interior. I've loved what I've seen so far, but if you can get pressure on the inside and force them to move the pocket, then that's where Josh Sweat comes in hand. He's just got to make the plays when the plays come to him and really stop that run game. Tony Pollard does a great job of bouncing outside. So really just Josh Sweat setting the edge, Derek Barnett setting the edge, and then Fletcher Cox and Hargraves really setting up the middle on the offensive side of the ball. Obviously, it starts and ends with the quarterback, so that's the obvious one, and I could just choose that every single week. But I'm going to go unique here. I'm going to go Kenneth Gainwell. I think, being able to pass the ball out of the backfield to Kenneth Gainwell is a huge advantage. You saw a little bit of it with the 49ers game. I think as he continues to learn the playbook, he's going to get more and more playing time because absolutely he is a weapon that you can line up as a wide receiver and run slots with him, or you can have him coming out of the backfield and getting the ball out of the backfield as well. So I think that would be my offensive player of the game.
So if you were to give the offensive player of the game to Kenneth Gainwell, that pretty much means that they're taking the ball out of Miles Sanders' hands. Because Miles Sanders, he's the guy. He's the bread and butter. He's the it factor. And if you're giving it to Kenneth Gainwell, he's not that guy anymore. I mean, that's just my opinion, because Miles Sanders, I've always thought of him like this. Put my PSU bias aside because I hate that school. But I've always thought about him like this. I've been like, he's like, eh. Like, to me, he's that one guy that could be great, but he's never been great. You know what I'm saying? He's just kind of average. He breaks off a couple big plays a year for a touchdown, and then all of a sudden he does diddly to nothing. He's just one of those guys. Kenneth Gainwell, he's a guy where he reminds me in a way of Brian Westbrook. Very shifty, very quick on his feet, And, if Miles Sanders doesn't stop fucking around, I feel like this is a guy that could take his job. So, he's got to get stepping. So I actually like that pick. I like that Kenneth Gainwell pick a lot. And it's not unique because we're going to need players to step up in this game to win. And it's pretty much all we have to say today. I think it's about half hour. Yeah, we got 2 half hours. Sweet. With that said, Zach has a show to do. If you want to go follow him, what is it? Fox Sports Buffalo?
No, it's Fox Sports 980 on Twitter, or you can just follow me, Zach, ZACHFS 980. I'm live Sundays at 11 a.m.
All right, Sundays at 9 a.m. If you want to go follow him before football, I've seen his show before. It's pretty awesome. Give him some follows though. He needs to get a bigger following. He deserves it. He's on here every single week, and we need to show him some support. So go watch his show. And yeah, I mean, listen. I'm going all the way out there. I cannot experience a loss again. We need to win this game. It's just a fact of the matter. Serious question, Nitro. How the hell did Eli and the Giants win 2 Super Bowls against the Pats? Shake my head. Eli is literally a 500 quarterback. The defense every single time, and luck and timing. Some of the throws were great that he wouldn't make in a regular game, and it's just luck and timing. But that's pretty much it. Anything else you have to say, Zach?
No, I just wanted to touch on one thing, Kyle. So I heard you say it last game. I heard you say it today. Nick Sirianni wearing the T-shirts of whether it be players or the city or whatever the case may be. I'm fine with it. I'm fine with the way Nick Sirianni's been with the media, with the fans, with the players, whatever. But eventually it does get old. So what I would say is it's fine for this year, but sometimes the message gets a little stale. But as long as you start winning or showing that you can win games, that can continue. That trend can be continued. But stuff like that's going to get old. You saw what John Harbaugh was able to do in San Francisco and how he treated players like college players. Yeah, it worked for a little bit, but eventually it got old. So Nick Sirianni and his message, it may work for a little bit, but he needs to come with a winning mentality and have winning going forward, or else, like guys like you who like to lead the bandwagon instead of being on the bandwagon. You're leading this train first before everybody hops on. So that's why I just wanted to say it's not necessarily that Kyle doesn't believe in the way Nick Sirianni acts and, puts on the shirts and everything. He's just jumping on what he foresees in the future if you don't start winning games. And I just wanted to say that because I did notice he got a lot of slack for it.
No, it's like he set himself up to fail. It's like I don't like when coaches put something out there to where they have to bring on more pressure than they should. And it's like the pandering, yeah, I get it because you want to fit in, but he's doing it too much. It's like to the point to where it's like it's fake. You know what I'm saying? Just to fit in. And you can do it if you're winning. That's perfectly fine. You could go to the Rocky statue every single day and pray to it. You could literally pray to it if you want to, as long as you're winning. Maybe I'll join you. But at the end of the day, you have to win. You have to win. If you're not going to win and you're doing this bullshit every single week, it's not going to fly in the city, especially a city that is dying for another championship. So, especially because the Sixers, they choked again, and the Phillies were probably not going to make the playoffs. And the Flyers, I don't know. So, I mean, we're definitely dying for another championship. I will say that. So, you gotta, if you're gonna pander, do it the right way and win football games. That's pretty much all I'm saying there. And if anyone has a problem with that, that's perfectly fine. You could back any player, any coach you want till the day you die. You can do it. That's not me. If you play good, I'll praise you. If you don't play good, I'm gonna rip you. Just like when people rip Nick Foles for finishing Carson Wentz's job when Carson Wentz tore his ACL in the regular season. I praise good play. I don't praise bad play. And when players play bad, I rip them, So, I don't know what you want me to say there. I can't bash Nick Foles for playing bad in the regular season because he won us a Super Bowl. So that's a little different for me. But with that said, yeah, listen to Haley. Make sure you give a like. Yeah, we need all the likes we can get. We're trying to get this podcast worldwide. And this will be available on Spotify. I know we got to download it. We haven't done that in a while. But we're ready. we're ready, and it's gonna be a long 2 days. So, Zach, I cannot wait till Monday.
It's been fun.
Yeah, it's been a lot of fun. Well, with that said, everyone, we are gonna get out of here, and let's go Birds. Have a good NFL Sunday and college football Saturday if you're into it, and leave a like and subscribe to the podcast. Thank you guys.